it's a stunning turnaround for a party that gave a voice to countless people across Nigeria who felt left out and left behind. Labour was a party considered to be one of the most responsible of the competing blocs during the 2023 presidential election, and whose candidate, Peter Obi, came a close third as the national results rolled in. Today, though, the Labour Party, riddled as it is with divisions and challenges, is riding a public backlash and has taken such a hit that it is thought to be almost too dead to even think about competing effectively in the 2027 general election. Amid the endless squabbles, the factional national chairman of the party, Julius Abure, who for all intents and purposes has been removed by the Supreme Court, insists that he is still the chairman. And as he was summoned by the National Caretaker Committee to face allegations of gross misconduct, financial misappropriation, impersonation, and anti-party activities, he proceeded to announce the suspension of some very senior members of the party, including the governor of Abia State, Alex Oti, and Senator Darlington Nwokocha. And Senator Darlington Nwokocha joins me now in the studio. Good to see you.
Thank you, Charles.
How does it feel to be suspended?
I'm not being suspended.
What is this farce that is going on in the Labour Party?
Well, thank you, Charles, and good evening, Nigerians. Good enough you're having me this night. And I'm sure that at the end of the day, I want to bring so many things to bear so that Nigerians will understand. First and foremost, the issue presently in Labour Party is that the former chairman, who was supposed to then, and even now, understand that a limit he could have operated vis-a-vis the Constitution of Nigeria, the Constitution of the party, and the electoral act, has refused to sit down to study his books.
You mean Julius Abure?
Julius Abure.
Right.
Because I don't see any reason why you should be the chairman, and you have operated for some time, and now when it gets to the time, the body that's supposed to regulate, because first and foremost, there is no institution, there is no body, even in this place, there must be a regulator. And first, you go and study what are those things, the guidelines, the regulator, or the constitution, or the powers, or the act that empowers the regulator to carry out all the things, functions, they need to carry on you. That's the first thing. And when you fail to do that, and you start running without understanding what the regulator has over you, you may end up overspeeding your limits.
Look, what you're saying here, with all due respect,
I'm coming to that.
Is a lot of verbiage.
Yes, I'm coming to that.
Because the man considers himself to have been elected as the national chairman of the party.
Yes.
He considers that the Supreme Court decision did not oust him. I mean, he feels that he has or at least he certainly portrays himself to the public as having every legal right to be where he is.
Fine, Charles.
So all the stuff that you're talking about.
No, just hold on.
Wash.
I want to arrive at something. One, the INEC came at a particular point in time and said, Julius, you're not qualified again because your tenure has expired. He went to court at the first instance. And the court, for whatever reason, now said, okay, you're qualified. Then the INEC again came and said that we went to court. And I said, no, this man is not qualified for obvious reasons. We have looked at the records, looking at the time 2023, when his tenure expired, an extension of 1 year was given, and at the end of the day, he now went ahead and said, I'm still qualified. I said, no, that he organized a convention somewhere. The difference between convention and NEC, they are all, this is a meeting, this has to be organized by the people from grassroots, from the ward to the national convention. And he never did. So INEC now said, no, there are rudiments, there are variables you must meet. There are qualifications you must meet before we recognize you. He said no. INEC, we joined them to the court. After the appeal, we said no, that it didn't go well because it is very clear. We went to Supreme Court, and Supreme Court is the highest court of the land. Remember, if you now go to the platform, you will see through the court. He came through the court on appeal. We said, no, let's go to Supreme Court because we are law-abiding people. We are very procedural. Why do we need to start fighting on the street or going through? We didn't come through press conference. So just say, let's go to the Supreme Court. We went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court clearly defined it. I'm surprised that some people are saying, oh, it's not definitive enough. I want to read out something for you, just briefly.
Go ahead.
This is the ruling, the judgment. I want to go to the, where you see in summary, that means that it is the totality of everything. If you go to page 47 of this particular voluminous document, it said, in summary, both the trial court and the court below had no jurisdiction to entertain the suit of this first respondent, which main relief, as they both rightly observed, was inserted as relief number 5, as though it was an appendage. Consequent upon the foregoing, the decision of both trial courts and the court below recognizing his name was mentioned clearly, unlike other decisions.
Finish what you're saying.
Barrister Julius Abure. Maybe there are some other Abures. They still went further. The judge went further and said, as the national chairman of the respondent, I hereby set aside. When something is set aside, what does that mean? That it's gone. Set aside. Suit number, it didn't stop there. It made reference to the suit number of those appeal courts. And when you say FHABCS, in case there is any ambiguity, in case you do not understand, these are the reasons why all these clarifications were made. He said 127/2024 is hereby struck out for want of jurisdiction.
Yeah, that is the court does not have jurisdiction to entertain the case. And that is the argument of the other side.
Fine.
That the jurisdiction of the court, that the court itself said that it does not have jurisdiction, and that it returns it to the party to sort out its problems.
I'm still coming to that. I don't want us to isolate this because Julius Abure on this, because if you isolate jurisdiction alone, it there means you are giving it a very different definition. No, but I'm coming to that. Yeah, okay. But I'm coming to that because his name is being mentioned here. Nobody mentioned anything that has to do with Nenadi or this and that. His name directly mentioned and his position mentioned. Then, why this has to be this way is because by the time they say referring back, because you can't put something on nothing, you have been asked to move because you are not qualified to be there. Your tenure has expired. Because I'm coming to that. If you read this judgment, I'm still coming to other areas that shows that, you are not qualified because your tenure has expired. Now, when your tenure is expired and you are being asked to leave, what that means is that there is a body, another body, that should now decide what happens in the party. And that party, that thing is NEC, National Executive Council, or National Executive Committee, as the case may be. Because it's just like when a situation is dead, nothing moves on again. Something must come out of it. And remember during Jonathan what happened? When there was need for any necessity, the doctrine came in. Said, let's do this because the party is just like a human being. Now, since this man is not there, there are people that are statutorily imposed with the responsibility of carrying out, which includes, according to our constitution, I will still show you the constitution because I will give you all these documents. It's like
look. The main thing here, Senator, is the issue of the Supreme Court and its judgment. The Supreme Court, from the point of view of Abure's people, they say, and a lot of other people have said, that the Supreme Court made it clear that party disputes should be settled internally. And that is the knob of the decision of the Supreme Court.
By the people that are eligible. I don't want you to use short sentence. But by the people that are eligible.
The question then becomes,
who are those people that are eligible?
They say they are eligible, you say you're eligible.
Fine. I don't want us to just make a phrase. by the people that are eligible. Remember that this section had already asked him to set aside. You are no more qualified because you are not eligible. Now, you have to come back again. Which people? Because it's not the National Working Committee alone.
Do you think this thing needs to go back to the courts?
No. This is very clear. I want to read the
But
other.
it's not clear.
It's very clear. It's very clear.
You're saying it's very clear, but it isn't clear.
No, it's very clear. Look at the final. They said in the final analysis, this same judgment, in the final analysis, I find this appeal to be meritorious. When something is meritorious, what does that mean? And hereby allowed. I don't want us to be, these are different passages of this, and not that they're modeled together. And allowed. So when somebody says, and on their own, they now give an advice. Please, you people should understand. Any leader at all, we don't want this country to be moving back and forth. Any person that his tenure expires, who are they referring to? In the same judgment, should leave that whatever and allow people that are eligible. Let me go back to that. Who are those people that are eligible? Apart from the National Working Committee, where Abure belongs, you have another arm. Apart from National Convention, which is at the topmost part of it, the next one is the NEC. Remember that he's no more qualified to be a member of the NEC. Now, who are the people that are qualified to be a member of the NEC? In our constitution, which I will still give you a copy because I want you people to study it. I came with all those things for you to study. One, you talk about now the chairman of the party and the deputy vice chairman is no more there. Let me read it out.
But is there provision in your party's constitution for a caretaker committee?
That is why I was telling you now said, oh, why do I have to make all those analogies? In a situation, doctrine of necessity was in our constitution before that time, but you cannot allow a system that has been alive to just end abruptly like that. There must be need, because if there are remnants of people that are still alive, right, that their functionality will drive the entire process. I wonder why you should allow it to drive. Because one, there are people that are statutorily mandated. Even if we say that we're going back to a national convention today, there are people, whether you like it or not, statutorily they are supposed to be there. One the governor, one the deputy, and the elected members, senators and whatever. When the situation comes like that, you have to call the leaders, the real leaders of the party, and sit down, statutorily. Say, are you a statutory member? Because when they are going to convention, these people must feature in the convention. If there's a normal, a peaceful atmosphere right now, these people are mentioning the House of Assembly members, the National Assembly members, and the governor, and a few others. These are statutory members. They will feature in that election. So since there is a problem, and the process is almost dead, because the man that has been at the helm of affairs is dead in terms of administration, what next? You won't allow it to die like that. Those that have the statutory mandate to drive the process will come back and now say, please, INEC, which is the body that drives, that supervises, that regulates, that monitors everything. What do we do? INEC now said, you cannot die like that. Go back and get us people that will now drive this process, but on the premise that they will not evolve, they will not transmit. Like what Abure wanted to do. Oh, he didn't start the process from ward, local government, the conventions, congresses to national convention. Now he will now come up to be the national chairman again. Say, like myself, I don't have any interest to be the secretary of the party. Neither did Senator Nenadi like to be national chairman. We have moved on. We have our timetables already. We have given to INEC. INEC has stamped and they have accepted it. The process is moving on. We want to start our congresses, because that is the proper. This party does not belong to you, Abure, or ourselves. It belongs to the people. Where you go and organize one convention in what's it called, Nnewi, without proper electing people at the grassroots, those are the people that.
Well, the problem that you have is that in the public's mind, and certainly what appears to be all intents and purposes, Abure has some significance and some relevance with the party, which is why you're sitting here right now talking about it.
No, it may be press-wise most times. Because most times press-wise, not that he has okay, what makes the content?
What I don't understand is you came out of the Supreme Court.
Yes.
And you said that the Supreme Court had found in your favor.
Yes.
Subsequent to that, Abure came out and said that the Supreme Court found in his favor.
Yes.
Who is in charge of the Labour Party? I mean, who makes how can decision? Because he's still parading himself, in spite of all the things that you've said. Stop parading yourself. Stop doing this. He's still doing it.
That is why it is called democracy. It is not something you carry on. There are processes for you to achieve any particular setting. That is the truth. If ordinarily, it's a jungle where okay, go and shoot somebody, that's a different thing. And we are not interested in this political junta. No. There's a process to all these things. Like INEC, they have their legal department. They have other departments that have been sitting down. They will sit down and look at this. And now see from this, it's just like ordinarily when the court at first instance and the second instance, that after that we say, well, the court has just ruled. We now left it like that without going to Supreme Court. The whole Nigerians would have said, oh, that Abure is right.
But we're fast running out of time. I mean, why do you think, because anybody would think that somebody who has the interest of a party at heart on both sides would follow the rule of law and just say, right, let's move on. You know, my time has expired or my time has not expired or whatever, and let's move on. Why do you think people are holding to such hard and fast positions? Some have suggested that a lot of this problem is aimed at frustrating your party and that it's externally induced. Is that your sense?
It's possible, because we have watched all this and said, why must this man be? Because at the point we told him, why don't you allow yourself to pass through the process? Let's go. And now you contest back again. Before he was suspended, before the sanction a few days ago, even sometimes say, come, what is your interest? For me, I don't want to be one of the functionaries during convention. I don't want to contest. And the Nadi would not like to contest. So why don't you say that, or you allow yourself and pass through the democratic process and now face the election if you win? That is the problem, because there is no way you just come out one day and now you say that you have done a convention. Do you know the meaning of convention? There are certain ingredients that must feature for you to say this is an effective convention.
Who has control of your secretariat at the moment?
Well, secretariat, like...
just a straightforward question.
Just hold on.
Who has control
Just hold
of the
on, I want to, because if I can't give you a direct answer, do you know why? Anywhere you see the bishop, that is the bishop.
Anywhere you see what?
The bishop, that's the bishop thought. If you're looking for, if INEC is looking for me today, he will call me or send text to me.
So you don't have control of the
Who said that I don't have control over
No, I'm asking, I asked you, but you're not answering the question.
No, I have control over the secretariat. I do. Completely and wholly. I do.
No, who occupies the secretariat at this point?
That is, I have control. When somebody says I have control, what does that mean, Charles? I have control over the address that is in the letters we have been writing. Go and check it.
It's not about the address. It's
so
about
what?
the physical building.
The physical building, we have control over it.
Do you? Do you go to that office?
We have
and use the offices there?
Why won't I go to the place?
No, you're asking me a question. I'm asking you.
I'm asking you because you say what I have control. I've told you I have control of the place, because there are certain features as well that make someone to say I have control over something. I have control over the LP secretariat. That is the truth.
Well, you're starting to sound like, because we think of you lot as possibly quite rational. I mean, I don't understand.
What is irrational? What is irrational about what I said?
Are you able to get up now and go to the Labour Party?
Why not?
Office.
Who will stop me?
Have you been there recently?
Why not?
No. You keep saying why not.
Of course.
When was the last time you actually went there?
Charles,
or members of your group,
Charles,
went there and conducted your meetings and so on.
When it comes to function, as far as Labour Party is concerned, I have people I delegate to carry out certain assignments.
So you haven't been to the office? But
I didn't tell you that.
You've been delegating?
No, I didn't tell you that. Right. I didn't say that.
How much do you think all this has hurt the Labour Party in the public's mind?
Well, you know that Labour Party has organic support. And they know the truth. If you watch what is happening, who are the supporters of NCC? You have how many House of Assembly members? These are people representing people. You have how many we have so many House of Rep members representing people. We have so many senators representing people. Are they not feeding them back on the real situation?
Well, you're having people cross over from your party to other parties.
Well, some people are leaving PDP as well, and some people are leaving APC as well.
Yeah, but that's no consolation to you.
It's not a consolation, but I'm telling you, it's a normal occurrence.
Right. Well, Senator Darlington, I'm afraid it just seems like a right royal mess, as we put it.
How?
Well, I mean, based on everything that we're seeing, and it is very disappointing because the Labour Party was a party that a lot of people placed considerable hope
even now.
In.
Even now.
No, not now.
Even now.
It's no longer the
Let me
case.
tell you, Charlie, the truth of the matter is, as far as Labour Party is concerned, politics generally, you don't expect it to be very smooth.
No. People cannot.
But as it stands today, with this judgment that is out,
no. The point is, look.
Many intelligent people, sound people, sound minds are relaxed that everything is settled, and it's a matter of time.
Senator Nwokocha, you will not have the confidence of the public until you sort out your problems. Even if the rule of law is in your favor, you have to. Law is made to be enforced. You have to enforce the rule of law. And once people see that you have actually taken charge of your party properly, then potentially there is the room for people to say, okay, let's return our loyalty to that party. But as far as many people are concerned right now, it doesn't matter what you're thinking or what you're saying, there is enormous disappointment with the Labour Party, and people are simply, fed up. Let's face it.
The truth of the matter, as far as I can tell you, is that you prepared a whole plate of food, and there's a little place somebody now added kerosene. It does not necessarily mean that it will make the entire food distasteful. You can't generalize the situation at all. I tell you that we still have the organic support, because we know that this process will soon end, and it will surely end.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
Well, for your sake, I hope
because
it does.
I'm out there and I know what is happening. Okay. It will surely end.
Right. Okay. Senator, thank you very much indeed for coming in. Senator Darlington Nwokocha is a senior member of the Labour Party. Good to see you again.
Thank you.